Hi, so I just wanted to share with you one weird trick um, for remembering things. Like, specifically, if you have misplaced something, like your keys or your glasses or whatever, or if you're trying to like think of a word, whatever it is, where you just feel like you have a brain fart. Ooh, sunshine. Um, I read this actually in the silliest of places. It was, I'm pretty sure, a Good Housekeeping magazine. That's another story, but I used to read a lot of magazines, and um, and basically the trick is super simple. If you're running around trying to think of where you put something, or if you're trying to think of a word, it helps to close your eyes. And I don't have the actual copy of the magazine. I think Kristen Bell was on the cover, if that helps. So I have like references to the actual study, but there was references to a study where they did, where they found that this was true, that if you close your eyes, you're more likely to remember. And it kind of makes sense because basically you're just cutting off all visual stimuli, um, and it just helps you to be able to focus and remember. Um, because, like, think I've heard tell that we technically never forget anything. We just can't find it in our memory. Um, so yeah, it just helps to streamline that process. The one exception, however, is if when you close your eyes, you imagine a doorway, you are uh, likely to forget, like to not be able to remember. And they think that that's because um, we we connect the symbolism of doorways as like going through another portal, and another into another kind of realm, basically. And I don't remember if they mentioned this in the magazine, if I just put this together, but I think that's the reason why there's the phenomenon of when we go to get up and grab something, or something like that, and we finally get to, like, oh, I got to grab something from the kitchen, and then we get to the kitchen and we go, wait, what was I in here for? I think that's because we've walked through a doorway or even like an archway, and it triggers to our brains that we're entering a new space, and it's we forget what we were thinking of in the previous space. So um, yeah, I mean, I guess a good thing to do if you find that that happens to you often and you want to try to, streamline your time. Um, I think I'm going to start doing this since I'm a mother and, I have a lot going on. Carrying a little journal or a notepad around with you, or I mean, a lot of people have it on their phones, but basically at all times, and just having like a list going of what you're doing. It's kind of crazy, but I think that it's really handy to have it written down because then you don't have to keep it in your brain. So I hope you think that this is an interesting little trick. Um, I've used it and it works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, because I lose things a lot. But I do find that it helps me to remember, if I'm thinking of a word, if I forget, or if I can't think of a word that I'm trying to use, I'll close my eyes and I am usually able to remember it better.